Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Gianluca Massi is speaking from Rome on the behalf of the Virtual Telescope Project. Once again, it's such a big pleasure for me to be here ready to share with you a beautiful event happening right now over there. That is the supermoon, the first supermoon of the year, the first of 4 supermoons in a row. This is the so-called Buck Supermoon, and I will be happy to share now a few images I could capture minutes ago from Rome, while our beautiful satellite, our moon, with its full face was rising above the legendary skyline of the eternal city where I live. Before I start, I want to thank the technological partners of the Virtual Telescope Project, and they are SoftwareBisque, C-Web, and Telescope Live. That said, I want to introduce to you the idea of the supermoon. I want to make this clear. Supermoon is not an official scientific term. It is just a popular one, which makes sense, by the way. We call supermoon, in particular, a full moon happening while our satellite is in the point of its orbit which is closer to the Earth. The moon is orbiting around the Earth following an elliptic orbit. And of course, for this reason, the distance between the moon and the Earth is varying from a minimum to a maximum value. The minimum value, the minimum distance, is the perigee, while the maximum distance is the apogee. And when the moon is very close to the perigee and it is also full, it is closer than the average full moon. And this will make the lunar disk a bit larger and a bit brighter. But trust me, they are very subtle differences, and I'm sure nobody will recognize a supermoon versus a typical, an average full moon. In order to give you a better idea, I want to share this picture which I did using a couple of images of mine, and this image is just comparing the supermoon versus the mini moon. As I said, the supermoon in this case is a full moon happening while the moon is around its minimum distance from the Earth at its perigee, while the mini moon, on the contrary, is a full moon happening while the moon is at its largest distance from the Earth, its apogee. And of course, in the earlier case, in the former case, the moon is apparently larger, being closer, while at the mini moon, being the distance at its maximum, the moon will appear smaller. And this image is clear, making evident the absolute this difference between the super and the mini moon. As you can see, if you have the two situations, side by side, you can easily recognize who is super and who is mini. But trust me when I say this is impossible to recognize when you don't have something as comparison in front of you. So in other words, the supermoon is just a typical, just a way to underline that the full moon is happening while our satellite is closer than on average. Okay, it's a popular term, nothing to do with the official astronomy. But to me, this is an opportunity because I can easily understand the fashion of this term, while again I repeat, it is not an official astronomical scientific one. And when a supermoon is around, many people are really inspired to look up, and I always welcome a supermoon for this. And this is why I'm happy to share a few images I captured from Rome, and I hope this will bring to you the beauty of the event. Time for me to start sharing those images with you. I must say that the weather was not the best, but still I tried to capture something, and now time for me to start sharing those images. Here we are. These images were just downloaded from my camera, and this is of course a piece of Rome after sunset while we were welcoming the night. You can see there are many monuments, like here the white one is the altar of the fatherland, while the monument you see on the foreground is of course the Sant'Angelo castle. Here in the center you can see a piece of the Colosseum, while the dome you see on the left is the Pantheon. Okay, on this other direction you can perhaps easily see also the tower with a clock, and if you are familiar with Rome you should recognize it is the clock and the tower of the Palazzo Senatorio, where the municipality of Rome has its own residence. Just to tell you that this was the site soon after sunset, and you see also the mountains on the background. Then the night arrived, and I started just tracking the beauty of the night here, and you can recognize now much better a few monuments. The red hue is just making evident Castel Sant'Angelo versus the white of the monument on the background, which is the altar of the fatherland. Both of them are on the left, but still no evidence of the moon. And I want to jump right now to the first glimpse of our satellite. I took this image just a handful of seconds before the first piece of moon appeared. Here it is. I think this is a nice image to see. Hope that you can enjoy the clear evidence, the first piece of moon on the right, on the very right. And perhaps here I'm just adjusting and just processing these images right away while we are live. But as I say, there were clouds, and you can really recognize here that the moon is just behind a serious cloud layer, making impossible to enjoy the full lunar disk as I hoped. Unfortunately, you can hope, but you have no power. It is just on the good hands of Mother Nature. Perhaps here the vision is much better. And this is one of the best images I could capture tonight, with the moon clearly climbing second after second here in Rome. I must say that staring at this show while I was taking images for you was amazing, because well, I've been there many times, but no matter how many times, I still love looking at this. It is a very elegant, truly awesome, mind-blowing to see the huge lunar disk just rising. I say huge because when the lunar disk is low above the horizon, you are going to compare it with the monuments, with the terrestrial elements you have all along the line of sight, and your brain is actually pushing, blowing the sides of the moon to your perception. So this is why you think the moon is so big when low above the horizon. But the size, the angular size of the rising moon is the very same as when the moon is high in the sky. Simply when it is high in the sky, on the line of sight you have nothing to compare. It's just the single moon. More and more, as you can see here, I hope that despite the weather, this can still offer you an evidence of the beauty. I was a bit disappointed, I must say, because of these clouds, but I still wanted to do my job, because I wanted to bring to you the experience despite this unfortunate cloudy coverage. how beautiful at some point. The clouds moving all around and playing with our satellite. Still very nice. Still very, very nice. I also try to image a better detail of the moon. Here it is. Just a close-up, but then I move it back to the early view. Still very fascinating to me. Really hope that you can enjoy this while the weather, as I say, did not cooperate at all. A full moon, a bit shaken because it was truly windy, my friends. Look here, I have a sequence. Look here how beautiful this could be actually. I will take a time lapse while the clouds are just covering the lunar disk until it's gone. And then the final coverage here, just giving you an idea how many clouds at some point arrived. But still I think that we had some good images like this maybe, and I hope that this could bring to you, the feeling and the enjoyment I had while facing the true scenery for you out there taking images, my friends. So I hope that this short live feed, as I said, was able to bring to you the excitement, the joy we always have back every time we look up. Keep in mind, we will be live again soon. In 3 days, we will share in real time the potentially hazardous asteroid 2019 L85. Just visit www.virtualtelescope.eu to join this event. Next 6th of July, we will celebrate Asteroid Day with that event, by the way. If you want to see a potential hazardous asteroid live from the comfort of your home, just join us next July the 6th. And visit www.virtualtelescope.eu. This way you will learn more about this event and you will learn more about the Virtual Telescope project. As you see, we are making our live feeds, our event live, just available for free. We bring to you the real-time universe, asking no money, but if you want, you can support us. Just visit www.virtualtelescope.eu/donate, and from there you can donate whatever you want to support us. If you believe that we really, you can trust us, you can support us. So just consider this opportunity. That said, my friends, it's all. I wish you the very best. I'm looking forward to share the beauty of the cosmos live once again soon. Take care and keep looking at the stars. Gianluca Masi, Virtual Telescope Project, Rome, Italy.